Hey everyone. Okay, we're getting started in just a couple minutes here. Your pipeline, it's lying to you. We've always known that. We're going to talk about what you need to do to get around those little crazy tidbits of information, the volume of stuff that actually goes on in the pipeline that's going to always be a bit of a challenge to keep up with. That's really, really important to be able to identify where your leads are coming from, which ones are the most important, which ones are the least important, that type of thing. We're going to get to it right just momentarily, but first, let me let the mob right in. Here we go. Okay, everyone, we are starting. Fun, fun, fun. I know all of you are looking forward to this. Good, good stuff. Your pipeline is lying to you. Oh, good. My Californians are here. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just the way I like it. And we got Greg too. And we got Rich. Okay, I like everyone here today. That's good. You know, that's important stuff. Don't tell the others. They're a bunch of assholes, but you guys aren't. You
That'd
guys
be
are
our secret.
Yeah.
anyway. So we're gonna give everyone just another minute or so and get things in, and it will be all the more fun. So, how's the week? Any good stories? No?
Good Passover dinner.
Good Passover dinner? Yes. Happy Pesach for my Jewish friends, including myself. That's the big thing. I didn't know if you guys know this, but I'm Jewish. No big secret right there. Anyway, let me just get this
We
here.
all were at one point.
We all well, okay. Thank you for that.
Well, at least those of us that are Christian have to admit that we have Jewish heritage.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually just but while everyone's coming in, I'll give you a quick story. So, years ago, I was on the mat in Manhattan on Madison Avenue, and this nun was getting onto the bus, and she had all these bags, and she was an older nun, and nobody was helping her. And I'm like, I looked at her, I said, "Can I help you, sister?" And she said, "Sure." So I got her stuff and I carried it up the bus. And then she couldn't find her Metro card. I'm like, "Okay, let me buy you the thing." And then there was no seats left. So I looked out and I said, um, "Which one of you big strong men want to give the sister a seat?" And so somebody actually begrudgingly got up and she sat down and she was very thankful. And she said, "I got to ask you something though. Are you Jewish?" Which I thought was a shocking question. True story, by the way, guys. I know we joke around a lot. And I looked at her and without hesitation, I said, "I am, but from what I understand, so's your boss." She burst out laughing. She was a nun with a sense of humor. Thank goodness. I really kind of like that. So, in any case, that's my little multicultural kind of interaction there. It was definitely a fun one. Good afternoon or morning to everyone here. This is going to be great. To my Californians, I will be making it back out there at some point soon. My hope is next month. Deneen, I see Kenny a
Yes.
lot. I'm fattening the guy up on muffins and milkshakes
Yeah.
here. I'd love to do the same with you, Deneen. And I
Yeah.
know I don't want to be just making you drive to me. If I could come that way, I would love to do it. Everyone else, it's time for you to come to Florida. The weather here is great. So, really hop on in. And for anyone else who's new on the meeting, especially in the recording we have here, buy on Amazon. Whereas, oops, sorry, Prompt to Close, my book. It's now available on Amazon. It's available on both Kindle and soft copy. I'll be adding hard copy as well. And in a couple months, I'm getting into a studio and I will make an audible copy of it. Well, very, very proud of that book. It's been a lifetime goal of mine to write it. I've got several of you quoted in it, included Greg. Greg, did you see your quote? Sort of. Can't he's muted, but yeah, you saw it.
I'm not muted. I saw it.
Okay.
I have it bookmarked.
You have it bookmarked. Okay, good. So that's good stuff. So great. So we have all that. Your pipeline is lying to you. What do I mean by this? For those of you who came into the meeting earlier this week, you'll know that no two leads are created equal. A lot of people will say they do. In fact, everyone deserves respect. If you have someone that's inquired And I've had people who have gone after me in the past because they felt that, well, they were too low a price point and therefore um, I'm not trying to service that client. And in fact, if you look at my Zillow rankings, I think I might have about 50, no, 35 Zillow reviews, all 5 stars except for one. And in that one, there was 1 star. And her comments, this man shouldn't be a realtor. I'm pretty proud of that in a way because it just goes to show that she came to me with a wanted to buy an apartment for $50,000, which A doesn't exist. B, she wanted 100% financing, which for less than $100,000 that doesn't exist, and certainly it wasn't working. I spent 20 minutes talking with her about alternative financing and types of things that she could do, perhaps get a rental. And she took that as a complete rejection and decided to throw a cow at me on Zillow. I tell you the story because, again, from her perspective, I tried to get it off. Zillow said we can't. It's a legitimate review. Okay, so fine, I'm a schmuck. There we go. We learned it here first there. You guys knew that already. But I just want to let you know, not all leads are created the same. I will tell you that there's several things going on with most of you. From where I sit as a coach, I see that you're missing out on many of the leads and that you're not, in fact, um, following up with certain people. I've had people in this meeting say that after we sat down together, we found out that more than 20% of their business came from a single lead, this architect. True story. Did he send the guy a birthday card? Never. Hanukkah, Christmas card, whatever they might celebrate. Nothing. Did he ever call and inquire or do anything? A fucking Facebook message, for God's sakes. Nothing. And I don't blame him necessarily because we're so detached today. But part of what I'd like you to take out of this meeting is to be incredibly aware of what's going on with your leads and where they're actually coming from, what's going on. A couple more meetings coming up. We got on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Zillow just unveiled its $2.6 billion plan that's dominating AI. It's not going to be very helpful to you, in my opinion. This is just Ed's opinion here. I got to be very careful not to attack any companies, but I wanted to show you how to get through it. That's going to be there. We also will have this in the archive for all of you to take a look at. And we've got a variety of other meetings coming up that's going to be focused on sales and, of course, AI and all sorts of great stuff. So, getting right into it here. Um,
Hey Ed,
yes.
when you say it's Rich,
Hey.
when you say the Zillow, it's not very helpful to us.
Mm.
Said another way, would it be construed that it's pretty unhelpful to us?
I would say, look, I would say I'll let you decide that, but I will say they're giving so much data in a consolidated space that is written, in my opinion, to deliberately bypass the realtor and go directly through them.
Uh,
So they will make the argument, yes, but if you're advertising with us, okay, great. But a lot of us don't. I would be just as happy if my listings didn't always end up in the Zillow universe, but they've kind of made it so that it sort of has to. Um, and because they're members of the Realtors Association in all 50 states, I don't want to be in violation of the Realtors Code of Ethics by attacking another realtor. And I've been
oh,
told that you need to say this stuff very, very carefully. Well, so state simple facts that people will have a hard
okay.
time going after. If you want to talk privately, we could certainly do
No,
that.
I appreciate it.
But so there's a few things that are going on with your system. A, you've got a bunch of leads. How many of you have leads that you've not followed up with, or that might have been someone who bought a home from you? Okay, one, two. Only two of you. Three, four. Okay. Uh, so all of us have basically had that. One of the things that I'd like you to do is get into your CRM, whatever CRM that is, export all the leads into a spreadsheet. And if you've got any show notes or any things that have gone along with that, run that by ChatGPT or Claude. I preferably Claude. You guys know I use Claude. And ask it what is the best way to follow up with these people. What is one? I mean, again, master of the obvious. I get it, but it's amazing how few people actually do it. So it's amazing how few of you will actually do this. Now, what are some of the reasons? Some of you have said to me, "Oh my God, I totally dropped the ball. I don't know what to say to this guy or this woman." And you're right. I've done it too. Somebody gave me a referral. It somehow just ended up on the bottom of a pile. This was 2 years ago, and they wound up buying a home with someone else. I fucked up. I just say it very clearly. I mean, we all do make mistakes, but it's no excuse not to try and resurrect those opportunities. So that's one thing that I want you to be able to take a look at. Another one is, for you to actually score the leads that you have. Let me give you an example. There's a woman here who lives in my country club. She's 90 years old. I'll do anything for her. If my mom were alive, they'd be friends. They'd be frenemies. There's a saying now, frenemies. They love each other, but then behind each other's backs complain about one another. That's what they would be. Her son lives in Atlanta. She's all alone. She calls me. It's a thick accent. Edmonds, I think there's a rat in the kitchen. Can you come get the rat out of the kitchen? So I'm like, okay, great. Okay, Jackie, I'm on the way over. I will drop everything for this woman for that reason. Um, and what does she end up doing? She keeps trying to give me leads. Ugh, this woman's husband just died. She's never going to stay in that big house by herself. You got to call her. I'm like, okay, Jackie, it's already listed with somebody else. So all of you people steal from one another. I'm like, Jackie, I can't do that. Oh, you're a schmuck. She hangs up the phone. That's Jackie. That's a relationship I have with her. It's fabulous. She is an A lead. Now write that down. A lead. Number A, B, C. Before the A lead actually comes what I call the top 10. She's not a top 10. Why isn't she a top 10? She's not a top 10 because nobody she's ever given me has closed. But the effort is there. By the way, this is my ranking system, not necessarily your ranking system. So this is something that works very, very well for me. I call it the top 10, or sometimes I call it the tight 10. The 10 people that have consistently given leads and opportunities, and usually, like that guy who ignored the architect, usually it is a very small number of people that are terrific. My dad is an A lead. He's an A lead. He's not a top 10. Why? My dad is a wonderful man. I adore him. You could look at my social media. Just had a great post with him. But he's not given me anybody that's actually closed. So Jackie's a top 10. My dad's a top 10. There are other people. Al Rabel, who heads up a hedge fund here, um, has given me 6 or 7 leads. 5 of them have gone on to close. What is he? Top 10. So you got to make the distinction because of it. And don't feel guilty about it. Just because I adore Jackie and love my dad and they're now in the A leads, not the top 10. This is a mathematical equation that you need to make. These 2 simple exercises are going to do more for you in resurrecting business than you could possibly imagine. Because just by actually sitting and taking focus on that, now as we get a little farther into the meeting, we're going to talk about strategies to build communication with them. What I love about AI is you could just really always have someone's opinion, even if no one's around, or if you're embarrassed to ask that opinion. If I'm embarrassed to go to my manager and say, yeah, I kind of blew this person off, how do I bring them back into my life? Well, she would give me an honest answer. She'd probably mock me for it. But the point is that you'll have a great opportunity to be able to get in with some people that you might not have considered. Does this resonate with any of you? And can you share some of your stories? Again, I hate to be the only talking head here. Deneen, maybe?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. No, I've got clients over the years that
Yeah.
have done, oh my gosh, 5, 6 deals. And anytime they need a realtor, they'll refer me to their friends and family. So yeah, absolutely. It
Sure.
definitely works. And you know what? If you've bypassed a lead, like I've probably got 6 leads from marketing where they've reached out and I just haven't had time I've talked to them. I told them I'd get back to them. And it's been like 2 weeks and I haven't gotten back. So I need to do that. But I just need to pick up the phone and explain to them I got busy and,
Sure.
pick it up from there. Usually it works,
Sure.
sometimes not, but
Well, and guys, listen to Deneen. This is a top producer here. This is someone who's at the top of her game consistently, consistently. So if you're not at the top of your game, or if you are at the top of the game and feel lonely, don't feel lonely. If I do it and I'm at the top of my game, and Deneen does it, it means everybody does. It's something to think about. Let me throw a few ideas out to all of you. For those of you who came to the meeting on Wednesday, you'll know that I was probably talking about this as well. Who has leads that have produced more than once? So let me talk to you about some of my big leads. I mentioned Al, who has a hedge fund. He's somebody that consistently has buyers coming down here. Why? A lot of people are moving to South Florida. And I've been kind of the HR default for these people. Now, most of them have been rentals. A few of them, Samantha's not on the meeting right now because she's with one of them who's upgrading to a purchase. What is the purchase? Over $5 million. That's big time. That's like Bellini money. That's big money, man. That's not Bogan money. That's like Kern's money. That's Coggins money. Okay, that's big money we're talking about. But that's the type of thing. Now, what kind of campaign can I build around the guy that is giving me those leads? Don't answer that. I want you to just think about it for a little bit. I've got another one. They are a builder. Love builders. Love builders. It's great. We have done multiple deals with the guy. I sold him a
Sorry.
property. I sold him a property. He's renovating it now. We're probably listing it next month. Sold it to him for $600,000. Bread and butter kind of deal. Nothing huge. At least not nothing huge for me. I don't poo-poo anything. But it's going to go on the market now for about 2.1 and it'll sell somewhere around there as well. We're getting both sides because I made the introduction to the guy. And we've done this many, many times. Now, shame on my team if they're not thinking of something every single day to call them. They do 40 deals a year. It might as well be with us. But I just want to demonstrate all of this because again, your leads, the first thing you run after is maybe when that phone rings or somebody says they have something. Not all leads are right. These guys are the tight 10. The guy that has the hedge fund, the builder is the tight 10. These are people that we really do stay within the universe. These are people that I got to send my book to. By the way, if you want to make a lot of friends and have a lot of people really interested, write a book. It's been something my lifelong goal. It's fantastic. It really is, and it's great. I hope you like the content when you pick it up. But I've gotten some early feedback where people seem to really like it, and they think it's kind of the next iteration of the Million Dollar Agent that everybody read. Now that it's incorporating AI into it, great business card to leave behind when you go to a listing appointment. Here's the listing agreement, here's the CMA, and by the way, here's my book. I teach other realtors. It's a very, very good business card. You've got a book in you. Just think about it. Um, who's constantly checking the values on your website? Do you have one of those websites that tell the values? Do you have those names? Okay, I would argue that if unless you're lying, and all of you are pretty honest, you're probably ignoring a lot of those people. These are absolute buying signs. I'm going to share some of that with you just like now. This thing went out. Did anyone get my email this morning? My constant contact email? Okay. So let me just see. Just trying to pull this up, guys. Give me a second. I'm on two computers today. Oops, let me just do this. Don't adjust your television set. This is just me trying to fix things. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so now, stop. Stop. How's that? Okay. Um, so this is Constant Contact. This email was built entirely with AI, and we will have more meetings to show you how we did it, do this. Every week I throw out another story usually. In this case, since it's April, now we're into April, I created the Hurricane Preparedness Guide. And that's a AI rendition of me, and that's actually in my club behind me. And you see the storm in there. And if you were to click on it, you'd see that it actually has the preparedness guide and gives some stuff in here. But more importantly, if you want to read the full guide, it'll take you to the site. And we built this great site that has a dark mode and a light mode. And you could actually click and download the PDF. Pretty cool. You know what? I'm even going to put it in the chat for you guys to download yourself. If anybody lives in a hurricane prone area, my gift to you is we will make this for you and we will personalize it for you as well. But you have to send an email to edmund@bogenhomes.com and aton@benzeno.com. And it will take about a week. But if you are in a hurricane prone area and you'd like to have that personalized, fantastic stuff to be able to leave off and give. I love marketing with content. It's important stuff. So back to this sheet here. And sorry. So, okay. I will also get for you For my Californians, I'd be happy to work with you guys on a earthquake preparedness guide. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. When I think California, I think earthquakes.
Well, yeah, they just had one in Northern California. That'd be great. I know,
Okay.
was it Greg that you already did one? Did we see that on Wednesday? Yeah, that's cool. I'll do it.
Okay, good. So you'll direct me to where I need to go to get the information. But let
Okay.
me just show you this, like why I think, again, how you're able to grade your leads here. We see that I sent out 1,400 emails that went out at 7 a.m. Eastern time this morning. I have a 44.7% open rate and a 2.7% click-through rate. So let's take a look. One of the things that I love, and one unsubscribe here, that's fine. Let's take a look at the clicks. So there's 38 individual people that clicked. But more importantly, I could take a look at the links now, and I could see 13 people checked on my hurricane preparedness guide, and 25 people actually looked at what the listings are within my country club. I made that a priority. Let's take a look at the hurricane guide for a second. Great. Lisa Levenbrook, know her well. Dick Immerman, know him well. Nicole's on my team. William Herbstman, know him well. These are all neighbors of mine. I know these people. So now I'm going to make note of this, carry it around in my pocket, kind of make mental note, and I run into them. Guess what I do? I start a conversation. Ta-da! Yeah, all this in brains too, right? You like that, huh? But I've got to tell you that it's really not that tough when you're able to see who's actually going in and taking a look at the content. More than just sold, just listed. Look at me, I'm great. I'm trying to give tangible stuff that people could use. And if we could get you thinking in that direction, we could win. Because here's the thing, Deneen, and here's the thing, all of you. You've got something about you that the rest of us can't compete with. There's something about you that you could dip into right now that you can't compete with. All of you have heard the story that I told before where I went on a listing appointment and I lost, and I took the guy to lunch just to find out why I lost it. And he said, because I don't think real estate should be sold by men. I think it's a woman's business. My wife decides who will buy our home. I mean, so he gave it to, by his own admission, the lesser broker. And he was right. She sucks. But that said, I needed estrogen stat. I got my team because of it. It was a great education. I could have said the world is so unfair, this is so horrible, blah, 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 blah. But no, if he feels that way, other people feel that way as well. So not all leads are created equal. You've got to actually decide what strategy and structure can you put in place to get past those kinds of biases. Have you made a list of the kinds of biases that people have for you? Maybe it is a gender-based one. Maybe it's because I'm Jewish. I lost a deal. I know that because of my political views. It was fine. I got many more because of my political views, by the way. But I know that we're not gonna be in sync with absolutely everyone. It's not always going to work. That's the beauty of this business. Guys, this is 1/8 of the gross domestic product. 1/8 of it is real estate. Think about that. It's an enormous opportunity. There's 1.6 million realtors in America. Actually, now it's 1.45, I think. It fell a little bit. And most of them absolutely suck. 49% sold zero homes last year. Another 20% of that sold one or fewer homes. Oh, no, sorry. Sold only one home last year. The very, very minority of us actually do business. So don't get freaked out by the number of realtors that are out there. Most of them suck. All of them need to come here and subscribe to my mastermind. Notice the little plug a little bit. Okay, let's go through who some of these leads are and how we can actually rank them. We know that I've got my type 10 or top 10, and what can I do for them to kind of build it up? We know I've got the hedge fund guy. We know that I've got the builder. We know that we've got my A's like my dad and like Jackie, who are always trying but seem to not really work out. My dad once, but again, he's still an A because he's not trying hard enough. I don't know. Then we've got the B's and C's. The B's and C's, the B's are people who consistently run into you, who you think would be a lead source for you, but really haven't tried at this point. They're a close cousin of the A's. You could convert them, you can move them around. It could definitely be something that could be big. And what are the C's? The C's are anyone who lives in my immediate farm area. I might not know them. There's 728 of the most fabulous homes in my community, and I don't know everyone. All of them know me because I spent a lot of money getting them to know me. But they are my C's if they aren't in the high ones. And then D, the world. The world. Some homeless guy in Timbuktu. He's a D. I have no idea who the guy is. He's just out there waiting for me to upgrade him into one of the higher tiers. Do you have another system? Great. Use it. This is not the only system. This is my system, and it works very well. If you have another system that works very well, do not use my system because the whole idea behind this, write this down, strategy and structure is going to bring you a lot farther than glitz. Strategy and structure. The people that win in this business are the ones that have strategy. They've got strategy and they've got structure. That's what you really need in order to succeed in the business. If
Can
you're
I
going to
add to
really
that?
do that. What?
Can I add to that?
Please.
Can,
You know I don't
can
want
I?
to be, but only if you tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Absolutely. Greg Coggins in the Charleston, South Carolina area, waiting for your referrals. Um, Consistency, strategy, structure, and consistency doesn't do any good if you've got the system, but if you're not using it consistently, you're not getting anywhere.
Agreed.
For me, for me.
Agreed. Greg, in the last meeting, you shared something pretty personal about yourself. Can we talk about it or are you comfortable?
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
So Greg is now celebrating how many years of sobriety?
14.
14 years of sobriety. That's no minor thing, guys. That's a lifetime thing.
Congratulations. Yeah,
And
Thank you.
unlike
And
many of
actually,
us,
I think I said 13 on Wednesday, but it's actually 14. You lose track.
okay. Well, the point is that I'm sick and tired of living in a world where everyone has to be perfect. Everyone knows I battled with my weight my whole life. Not only did I have surgery, but I stick a needle in my ass every week to get the drugs to lose weight. And it's working. I am very sexy. But the point is that it really does take, a courage to actually go for that. But here, why do I bring up your sobriety? Tell everyone about what's come out of that, aside from being sober and happier and living a better life.
Well, that's the big thing. Especially the happier part. From a real estate business perspective, a lot of connections, a lot of referrals. It's pretty amazing the number of people that get into sobriety as they move through it. They become interested in home ownership. So I've picked up some buyers, but I've definitely picked up a lot of referrals
Sure.
and lifelong friendships.
And as we were saying, how often do you go to a meeting?
Pretty much every day.
Okay, that's a commitment. Pretty much every day, food for the soul, food for his life, and you're averaging about a deal a year from that net. I'm sorry if I belittle it by calling it a network, but it is a network of people. You do about a deal a year, you were saying.
Correct.
Okay. So
it's a
now I'm not
spiritual
saying go
community.
run out to AA, although you might want to, but let's talk about the success of that. And I've always said this because I've got a friend Ted in New York who's now going on to 32 years of sobriety. And every time he sends me a lead, I know that it's somebody that he knows from the program. The program, you're committed to helping one another. You're committed to helping yourself. You're meeting a consistent group of people. Sound familiar? It's very much like this meeting. There's a lot of familiar faces that you see on a regular basis. Sulma, I haven't seen you, at least not lately, I don't think. So you're new here. There's the new person that's come into your life. There's a new lead. There's the new connection. That is the model that if you could replicate, and AA happens to do it perfectly. Again, I'm not telling you to go into an AA meeting. I am saying to borrow from that idea to see what you can do to actually extend your brand. I'll take it one more step. When I lived in New York, I had cocktails. Sorry, I have to mention the cocktail right after the AA story. But I had parties every month. And one of the things that I did with the party is I had 100 people at Sarah Beth's on Central Park South one night, and there were three rather large women who didn't know, and they were black, who didn't know one another. Um, Somehow, and again, it was just an observation because there was three Orthodox men as well that didn't know each other. Didn't you know that the three rather large black women found each other and spent the night talking to one another? The three Orthodox guys found each other and wound up talking to each other. And then I noticed something else. It's only because their skin color is different that you actually notice more. It's come on, it's a dead giveaway. But you're able to, and the yarmulkes, so you're able to see that. What I noticed in the meeting was everybody went to their personal silo. They went to what they were comfortable with. That's not where business necessarily happens. Sometimes it does. But I would tell you that they spend a lot of time coming out to this great networking event with some very interesting people. And even though they were meeting new people within there, they were really not expanding beyond their own personal network. So that's another thing for you to write down. How are you going to expand the network? It's lying to you if you think that you're just going to keep meeting the same people and being able to get an upgrade from there. And it's not necessarily fair. You know, pretty women going to a party and talking to a guy, maybe he thinks that I'm hitting on them. I've heard women say this to me, or vice versa. It might not be fair. Find a strategy and structure to get through, and find a standard to actually make that. I'm not, you know, I'm a big fan of actually being able to utilize the God-given tools that we have to be able to get through. Um, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not losing anything here. Who else? Was there something? Sulma, can I ask you, am I pronouncing your name properly? No? Can you unmute yourself? Or you're shy? I don't know if you're, it's the
Sulema.
bottom.
No, that's not how you pronounce it.
Sulema?
Sulema, yes.
Sulema. Where are you, Sulema?
I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, cool. Welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
I'm glad that you made it here. Okay. Have you been to the meeting before?
No, this is my first time.
How did you hear about us?
I got an email.
Oh, okay. Shit. Emails work, guys. You see, anyway, welcome to the meeting. I'm delighted to have you. I hope we could catch up.
Thank
So
you.
look, you know, this is what you're going to do right after the meeting. You are going to take a critical look at the database. You're going to go in there. There's a bunch of prompts that I have in the workbook, which you should have, that is going to A, help you audit what you have in your workbook, and B, grade or score the leads that you have. I want you to look at each lead in there as after they're scored as really the opportunity for growth, because that's what they are. I mean, this really is the great opportunity for growth. And you're going to score those leads and you're going to arbitrarily figure out what's the probability of the deals that I'm going to get or the opportunities that I'm going to get from each silo. Your tight 10, I'm telling you, I'm going to get 25, 30% of my deal flow from that this year. I know I will. I know I will. I mean, I'm a consultative salesman. That's what I'm getting. Those are 10 people. Fucking A, I better be out to lunch with them. I mean, I better be doing something with them because I know just how valuable that is. So I want you to have a real strong understanding of where the leads are actually coming from. Then, beyond that, I want you to build a campaign around each person, particularly the type 10. And what are you going to find out about them? Anniversary, birthday. If they're Jewish or Christian or Muslim or wherever they might be, what are appropriate holidays to be able to celebrate? What is their favorite color? Do they have kids? Do their kids need a summer internship? I can tell you this, if you help my kids, my youngest one needs an internship in New York, I'll owe you big time. I'll owe you big time. It's helping my daughters is better than getting me a lead. And I think most of you would say that. Many of you would say that. Some of you might not. But most,
What's she looking for?
she wants to be a journalist, unfortunately. I think that with AI, it's going to be a very difficult thing, but she wants to probably work in either a marketing or advertising role in New York for the summer. So if there's something out there, smart kid, University of Texas, hook them, love them, great kids. So
You should talk to my daughter. Let's connect them.
yeah, who's that?
Karina.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see. Hi, Karina.
Hi.
How are you?
Just chipper. How are you?
You're
Good.
you're hiding away there. I didn't even see. I got all my Californians here. That's fun.
Yeah.
So you know. Analyze my lost leads from the past 12 months. You're going to paste the data. For each lost lead, identify what signals I missed and when the lead went cold. What a competitor likely did differently than I. This is important. You could do a competitive analysis with ChatGPT. So one of the things that I'd like you to do, and I know the prompt is in here somewhere, but I'm just not sure where. I'll have to look it up. Is to actually go in, scan using either Perplexity or uh, Claude. Actually, let me give you a little demo here. So, okay. Okay. So this is Perplexity. Perplexity is another AI. You can get it at perplexity.ai. It aggregates multiple AI services. So you'll have ChatGPT, Claude, a variety of different services, and it will choose the best one. Computer is their newest feature. I'm going to have a special meeting on that, but not today. But it does some remarkable stuff, which I will be able to show you at another time. That's my little teaser here, so keep that in mind. One of the things that I'm going to say, let me do it for Deneen. Um, I have a client named Deneen who is in Newport Beach, CA. She would like to know who her top 10, let's make top five, top five competitors are in that area. Please do some research into who they are and how they market themselves. Okay, so now Perplexity is going to come up with a little bit of research here. You could change the name Newport Beach to what, to Colorado Springs or to wherever you might be. And now it's taking a look. And Janine, you tell me, Tim Smith Real Estate Group, you know this person?
Yeah, I know all of them. Uh-huh.
Kim Bibb,
Yep.
Tim Carr,
Yes.
Sean Stanfeld,
Right.
and Brian Sperry.
Right.
Okay, would you agree? Is this a fair assessment that they are the top? They could be the top five. I mean, arguably.
Yeah. I don't know about the last guy, Sperry, but the rest of them are up there, definitely. Uh-huh.
Okay. Across these five, some consistent marketing themes emerge. Lead with proof, big lifetime volume sales. So they say top one. Okay, no duh. A lot of people say that. Hyper local authority. Several brand themselves around specific micro markets. Balboa, Peninsula Point, Newport Castle, Crystal Cove, and longtime residency, not just Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
Sophisticated digital stack, emphasize targeted digital ads, email nurturing, social media campaigns, story driven video. Tim Smith, I know this guy, Tim Smith,
Yeah.
in particular, uses cinematic property films, client stories, and emotional case studies. Luxury print and PR. They still use glossy print placement, lifestyle luxury, off market access. Kim Bibb and others highlight their ability to surface private listings and keep deals. If you tell me Deneen's exact niche, we could come up with 3 to 5 concrete marketing moves. Now, Deneen, we're not going to figure it out just instantly here, but what I'm going to do is a step further. I'm going to say, can you look her up and tell me? Deneen Kearns. I spelled that right, right?
Right.
K-E-R-N-S. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They won't find anything.
No?
No, I do most of my business with past clients.
Okay, let's see. Licensed real estate agent, Newport Beach, based at 12 Corporate Plaza. I don't know if that's accurate. Nearly 30 years of experience. Real Trends shows there's nationally recognized with roughly 21.5 million recent volume at an average of 3.6. Tagline, service beyond our expectations, featured on LinkedIn. Markets itself as expert in Orange County coastal properties. Sell the coast with 20 years specifically on coastal real estate. Emphasizes a mix of luxury residential across Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, Mission,
Viejo.
Viejo, okay,
Viejo.
and other
Mm-hmm.
OC. how she markets herself, brand and messaging, consistently uses services beyond your expectations. Is that true?
Yeah,
Okay. What I like about Perplexity is it's lightning fast. I mean, it does come up with this stuff pretty
that
quickly.
is. Yeah.
Third-party platform, strong presence on Zillow, Realtor, Rate My Agent, Yelp, and five-star reviews, highlighted language, blah, blah, blah. Authority and PR profiled in Orange Coast Magazine as Orange uh, County's expert of coastline real estate. Okay. So based on all of this, how would she improve? Which you may or may not agree with. I didn't ask you, Deneen. I hope you don't mind me using you as the
No, God, no, I don't mind.
Okay. So now this is actually doing this agentically. What you're looking at is the future of AI. Do you notice how around here it's looking kind of blue and a little wavy?
Yeah.
What the computer is doing is it's actually taken over my screen and it's going to start, you're going to see it start hunting around and looking for information on its own
Huh.
and it's going to start asking its own questions. This is the beginning of the end. This is Skynet coming over to steal you and take away your life. Just kidding.
Wow.
But it is going to give us some much deeper information. What I would also do is take this and then combine this research with other AIs. Let's see what it came up with over here. Where did I go? Gave a lot. I'm going to give this to you in a second.
Yeah.
Deneen Curran, strategic improvement playbook versus top five. Sharpen her niche and micro market the gap. Her competitors, Tim Smith, Kim Bibb, and Tim Carr, each own a specific micro market. Peninsula Point, Newport Waterfront, Newport Castle. Deneen's broad currently spans all of the OC, which dilutes her authority. By the way, Deneen, feel free to disagree with this. You don't have
No,
to
that
agree.
actually it's true because I get so many referrals, I'm doing business all over the county. And right now I'm from Huntington Beach to Dana Point, which is like a 30-mile range or now 20. Um, I do market. I have my own farm area, but surprisingly, I haven't been getting listings in my farm. So
Don't be
yeah.
so surprised. I'm a big shot within my community, and it's the my poorest thing today. It's about to change. I know I'm getting some listings, but that it's not so strange for that to happen.
Mhm.
Uh, the fix. Pick one or two micro markets, create neighborhood specific content pages. You heard it here first. You got to make the content. And in
Right.
fact, if we want to make an earthquake survival guide, perhaps we could do it very specific. If there's a shelter in your area, if there's, I don't know what it might be, but the more you speak to them, the
Hmm.
more they're going to appreciate this. It's
Hmm.
I once met a guy this was before the web became very big. He made a fortune selling a video how to secure your warehouse. I do not own a warehouse, but if I did, that video speaks to me. He could have been how to secure a building, but he talked specifically about securing a warehouse. And I think that's the point that I've always taken away from that was that the guy, he made a $50 video. It's a very small investment to find out. Of course, the technology's changed and we could all get that information. What is the next step for you? Use language like the go-to agent for a specific neighborhood rather than OC coastline. Highlight any record sales or notable. Upgrade her digital proof stack, the gap. Her competitors lead with massive volume numbers, 3 billion career sales, one number one team. Her recent volume on real trends, while respectable, doesn't compete at that scale. Okay, so maybe you could do a lifetime success rate.
Yeah, well, and that number isn't even correct, but
Okay,
that's
again,
fine.
AI makes mistakes, so I
Yeah.
all the time, by the way.
Hmm.
Um, what I'm going to do here is let me just see if I no, can't do that.
Well, and Tim Smith has a team of like 35 agents.
Absolutely. And
So,
so just because he's number one somewhere doesn't mean that it's all him, A, and
right.
B, it's not. And by the way, and it's not necessarily about beating everybody, Here, I'm just going to send you the raw data, Deneen.
Okay. Thanks.
So if that helps you Raw data. Okay. We could talk
Great.
about it at some other point. But
Yeah.
that's just the kind of thinking that I want you to try and put in here. I would be shocked if I'd be delighted, if all of you really thought that way. But it's amazing how very few really do. That you've just got to take a step back and stop and think through what can you do right now in this particular market. All that information could be wrong, which is great. Discard it if it is. But if you could get just a few nuggets of information out of it to make yourself just a little bit better and a little bit more, if you could say that by coming here you were able to get a couple more sales, I'd be delighted if your sales went up by 100%. That's amazing. But I'm also realistic. It might not. If you could say you got a couple more sales, then I know that the subscription to my mastermind is well worth it and that you're happy and there's peace in our time and that everyone's going and buying my book, which is available on Amazon in both Kindle and soft copy. Sorry. Just I break out into competitiveness all the time. Okay, before we get to wants, needs, and brags, I want you to read the workbook. I'd like to know from anyone what are the comments they have about this, how it resonates, if they think these are good ideas, bad ideas. Let's anyone could jump in.
It's a good reminder of what we should all be doing because I think we just tend to get busy in the business and stop doing what we should be doing, which is prospecting, whether it's new people or your past clients.
Sure. Well, good.
There's a gal that has already done 23 million in my office year to date, and she has another 17 million in escrow. She's going to kill it this year. And she only has one assistant and one agent working with her. And she has some kind of program, which I've got to find out more. But when she gets a listing, she does a call to all the people in the neighborhood, but it's an automated call, just giving them information. It's like a robocall, I guess, that she records, goes directly to their voicemail. And it just says, I've just listed this property or I just sold this property, whatever it is. She just
So
consistently gets
if it
deals.
goes directly to the voicemail, you could write this down. It's called Sly Broadcast.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
And the Sly Broadcast, I understand. I haven't used it in a while. But they had an upgrade where you could make the recording and instead of saying, "Hey, it's Deneen, I've got this listing over here," you could say, "Hey," and then it will mail merge in the name of the person. So it'll say, "Hey, Greg, hope all's well. Sorry I missed you. I just wanted to let you know I've got a new listing on 1234 Banana Street. If you know
Wow.
of anybody, please give me a buzz." And I'm like, wow, she took the time to call me. So you could really kind of
Personalizing. Yeah.
personalize it, which is great.
Huge.
So something to consider. There's a lot of tools out there now that could really help you do some of the heavy lifting. And in fact, brings me to the other point. We have on April 15th and on the 17th, we're going to do two that week. Your first AI employee, hire a 24/7 lead qualifier for less than your phone bill. We are doing that where we're actually building those things out right now. You don't need to use us to do it. We could show you how to do it as well. But that's going to be a good meeting, and we're going to do it on a Friday as well to give the Californians a break. So
Oh, good.
and and
Great.
and Sulama a break as well. Sulama. I'm trying to pronounce it right. And then lastly, uh, on April 22nd, if you just make note, we have 92% of goals fail. Here's the system the other 8% use. So we're going to talk about strategies around goal setting. I try to go back to the basics every now and then with all of this. Who else? Other comments here? Kenny.
Yeah, I'll make some comments. Just so you guys know, I'm not doing those big numbers as much as I used to years ago. I've been living up in our mountain house and doing it back and forth to the west side. Yeah, my wife's got a deal on escrow in Beverly Hills. I got a couple listings here in the mountains, but the numbers up here, that's a whole nother market I never even dealt with, right? And the prices here are like 350 to 600. So I was like, I should have been doing it here. I probably would have doing the math. It would have added up to a lot of money, but I guess my ego from the other side. Yeah, I've got some other things going, dealt with a lot of high-end people, but right now there's a lot going on too. My wife would help me with my marketing and she doesn't like working with me. And she's got her whole green technologies doing stuff. And she's got you'll see her on YouTube now too on homegreenhomes.com. But we're going to be working. We work separately now, and we may be parting ways on the top of it. So that's causing me a little stir. So I've got a plumbing problem in my pipeline, basically. So
Okay.
um, I got to look at what's next, and I'm, she's on the west side for the next few days. I'm doing my stuff with two properties in the mountains and yada yada. So, but I've been doing this for a long time. And the other thing about AA, all these groups, I mean, they're spiritually based communities. There are, probably many of you know, there's a lot of realtors that are AA. I mean, they go and take their energy from drinking liquor to drinking coffee and selling. So there's a lot of agents I know, even with Element especially, even, but they're all over. And but that's a good community. A lot of these 12 steps communities are too. So
Great
I'm
stuff.
actually one with my wife. It's a couples thing, and it's not. It's basically couples helping couples. It's nothing to do with, any alcohol and drugs because I need a drink every once in a while. But anyway, just wanting clarity, So yeah, I've represented some famous people and all that stuff, but that's all history. So I'm just your average guy.
We
Okay.
love average guy. We love
But
you
I
just the
want
way
it,
you
but
are.
I actually want to teach a class here and do a book because some of my background, I've studied the personal work I do for decades is deep in psychology. I'm in some big men's organizations and groups where it's very powerful. Some of my networks were like going to get into a law office and go do your law offers there, and I'd meet done like five lawyers in one office. Whenever you're writing an offer, or not writing an offer, but when you get an accepted offer, uh, take your escrow instructions to their office or something. Meet them face to face because you're going to meet somebody,
Hmm.
But also, I've had about 20 clients that lost their homes in the Palisades, and that's been devastating. And some of them are quite angry. Some of them, there's a lot. So there's always disruptions in my life and disruptions in this market. So carry on. I have other interests now that I'm 74.
Happy
So
birthday.
and I've been this in November. So there's a lot of things I like to do is teach, but the stuff I have in psychology will improve your closings 20%. I guarantee it. Or I
So
give you your power back. So
keep up with Kenny. All of us should be able to
yeah.
keep up with that. Who else wants, needs, and brags? Now's the time in the meeting. Tell us what you want, what you need, what you like to brag about. I've already bragged about my book available on Amazon, but enough of that. Um, Rich, nothing to brag about? Nothing. Sulema,
No.
Sulma, I gotta keep trying.
There's a song with your name, isn't it?
Yeah, Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's right.
just say it one more time. I'm gonna get it right.
Sulema.
Sulema.
Ulima.
Sulema. Okay.
Another
That's
Yeah.
a
thing,
that's
yeah.
a pretty name.
Sulema, Sulema, Sulema,
Right.
Sulema.
Another thing I want to mention for some of your older clients, even if any of you guys done triple net lease commercial properties,
Okay.
okay, that's a whole nother venture, and I've got somebody to do it. Yeah, because that's like,
Okay.
I sold a Sonic restaurant in Texas, right? And I'm in LA.
We're on to Sulema here. You had your turn. We gotta. So Sulema, any thoughts?
I just want to get better at posting more often. I was pretty good before posting on social media, and that's how I get most of my clients. Well, now I get a lot of referrals. I've been in the business for 9 years now. But for the last couple of years, I haven't been posting as much. I just got tired of it. So yeah, just want to get better at posting on social media to get leads.
Okay.
What I have to ask, what did you post that you got leads? I don't think I've ever gotten a lead from, and I pay somebody to
Um,
post.
I was just posting everything I did, like if I went for breakfast or if I was just everything about my life. And my brother would say, he's like, if somebody wants to do something to you, they'll find you because you're posting everything you do, you posted. But that was bringing me more clients because I was always top of mind. I was always posting, and now I've been having a hard time post. I'm trying to do post videos on, like doing a video tour. I do post them on TikTok and my socials, and that's how people call me. But just lately, I haven't been posting as much. So I just got to be more consistent.
More. Wow. Okay.
Look, again, delays are not denials. And if the good news is you've identified it. Most people go through life and they don't identify it. You're with Keller Williams?
Yes.
Okay, I was just looking you up here. Good. Okay, good. Um, thank you. Welcome. We love having you.
Thank you.
Who else? Okay, guys,
I'll add real quick.
please.
I'm in a women's financial group that I've been in for, God, I don't know, 30 years. And I think I've sold everyone a home in that group except like 3 new members that just joined this year. But that's a great another source of, any group that you can relate to, I think. Because like people like to work with people they like. So,
Yeah, it's true.
you know.
It's true. It's true. Okay, guys, look, I'm grateful. If anyone else has anything else? Okay. I'm grateful that all of you came today. I hope it was a little bit of an eye opener. I hope that you go to bogan.ai and check out the videos. We not only have this, actually, just one last thing I'll share with you so you could take a look. Okay, the site looks like that. And we could take a look at the archive of videos. So all of the past videos are actually in here. The workbook, it's for subscribers only. Of course, anyone who came to the meeting today has the workbook. But if you are, we let the whole world see these meetings that we have. It's pretty interesting. It's good to see. You could also learn all about the different services that we have. And, obviously, I'm pimping my book out as much as I can. If you're curious about AI operators, write this number down, 424-587-0840. Call it 24/7, anytime. The operator is named Dawn Foster, and she does not exist in the real world. She's a digital person. Um, and she's, this is like the second or third iteration of Dawn. We're going to be making new Dawns as well, and we're going to be launching a whole other system as well. But if you're curious to see how this actually works, please do write that down, give it a call, and you can see for
Great,
yourself what it's all about.
great.
Great. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Buying your
Uh,
book right now.
yeah, go take a look. Give it a call. Again, it'll transcribe your message. You could say you want to meet in with me, and it has access to my calendar. You could find out all sorts of things about the meeting itself. I mean, there's all sorts of tools that you could use, and if you could then imagine what you could do for open houses, for just about anything that you're doing, especially if you're dealing with the masses, especially if you have something where you know you're going to get a shitload of phone calls. Put it, if it's not going to be necessarily, if we're getting onto the B and C people, just to go back to what we were talking about, it might be a great way to start vetting them through. You know that it's an AI. It's not faking anything right now. There's not any, we are getting closer and closer to the day where you will not be able to identify the difference between me and an AI. But right now it's pretty clear, but at the same time, it's extremely useful. So please, please, please do give it a buzz. It's worth your time to do so. And thank you all so much for coming. And I look forward to seeing you next week for another exciting episode of Edmund's Mastermind.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Edmund.
guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Edmund.
Suleiman, we'll
Thank
give you a
you.
buzz.
Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
great
have a nice
weekend.
weekend.
Take care. Bye.
Great. Bye.